everyone, I'm Holly. I am the maker and doer of all the things here at Missouri River Soap. And today I'm making a classic soap that we make, and it's called Juicy. It's an essential oil soap and it is just wonderful. I've made it with micas and I've made it with clays and more natural colors, but I am going to do micas today. I have everything sorted over here. I have my coconut milk and I've warmed it just a smidgen. I have my blend of essential oils, which it has orange, litsea, lemon, lime, and grapefruit. It's so good. We're going to be putting in a little bit of kaolin clay, and then I have my micas lined up over here. So one thing I did want to do was break down my essential oil. I forgot that part. I just want to be able to mix my colors on their own and then add in the essential oil blend. So I need to just get these all measured out real quick. It smells amazing, so juicy. Now this is a blend that is shared on eocalc.com, and so credit is given to them for this blend. This jar is quite a bit different in weight. It's not really a jar, a little measuring cup, glass dealio. All right, that's perfect. That is perfect. Okay, so I have my bigger pot here because I'm doing one of my larger batches. I'm going to go ahead and add in a couple of these ingredients. I'm going to add in the coconut milk, and then we will blend in the kaolin clay. We're just going to do that all at once into the oils. Alright, now for my lye solution, and it's slightly reduced for some sodium lactate and for the coconut milk. The coconut milk is part of the overall water portion, so even though I didn't mix it with my lye solution, it is now partially contained in the coconut milk. So going in with the lye solution. It's a smidgen warm. I'm a room temp soaper, but it is just a smidgen warm. It's been cooling for about 5 hours, but we're gonna go with it. And then I am just going to bring this to emulsification. So this is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and split it off into the 4 pitchers. And my blend here is a mix of olive, coconut, castor, mango, kokum, shea, and a little apricot. I love it so much. And this is the recipe that I'm using until cocoa butter comes back into a reasonable range. I don't remember my figures exactly, but I'm thinking I need to go to 2,500 ml for right now. And then we'll just see. I know some of the numbers for some of the smaller batches, but I just haven't made the big one in a while. And these pitchers are 5,000 ml. I love them. They're so convenient and easy to work with. All right, so let's just see. Okay, so there's 10,000 ml. We are just needing to add a little bit more into each pot. All right, so for my colors today, this green, which is just an absolute lovely color, is going into this back one here, and I meant to get myself a little spatula. Hold on. And this is Green Vibrance. I am an affiliate for Nurture Handmade. So if you like these colors and choose to buy through my link, I might get a little commission from it. But I just love them. They are my main color supplier. I did not show you this yellow, but this yellow is Yellow Vibrance. Now this orange is one of their newer colors. It's Pulp Fiction, and I'm really liking it. It's really, really pretty. And then for the pink, I was going to just use Queen of Hearts or Rose Pink, and I realized that both of those colors were actually in transit to me. I'm not here yet. I just mixed up some more of my colors that I had. So we've got some Lollipop, some Amaranth, and I guess I did have a little bit of Rose Pink left. And we'll see if this is the color I wanted. I would have preferred the straight up Rose or Queen of Hearts, but again, that just didn't happen. Alright, I'm going to just hand mix them for now, get them started. And then I'm going to blend them all just a little bit more when I add in the essential oil blend. I was talking to some of my customers, I think some on the videos. I asked them, well, what would you like next? Would you like me to make it with the mica or with the natural clays, which are much more subdued? And they said micas, please. So you got it. Let's do it. It's so fun. These colors are just so cheerful and happy. It's beautiful. That pink will work just fine. All right. So let me think how I want to do this for just a moment. I want to use my stick blender here to do my stirring. So I ditched my spatulas temporarily. How pretty these are. Oh my goodness. Shall we move down? I'm looking at it in the viewfinder. It is just so cheerful. All right, in with the first one. This is a pretty easygoing blend. All right, so the green is in. And we definitely just have all of those amazing citrus vibes, the lime, the lemon, the orange, and the grapefruit. Truly an amazing, just fun batch. I just did what my dog did last night, and I caught my reflection. I was like, oh no, what's out there? Should I bark? I don't know. And it was just me. It was just me. live out in the Tules, and we do have critters on occasion, but nothing too wild as of late. Mostly just the neighbor's cats. So also, hold on just a quick second. I just wanted to mention that I did mix my micas up with olive oil from my batch. So I went a little bit over, so for this large, what I did was, oh, it is thickening up just a little bit. It's fine because I don't want it to be too loose when I pour it. But for this size, I used 3 teaspoons, 1 tablespoon of mica colorant per color. I broke it down, and 1 teaspoon per pound of oil would have been 4 per color, and I just didn't feel like I needed it to be in our faces. Alright, so I have my mold here, and I think I'm going to just kind of see how it goes. It's pretty thin. I'll probably do it in maybe 3 pours each. I think that's going to be just fine. And it's just big, thick pours. That's what I like in this batch. Isn't that beautiful? Just those two together. Okay, maybe we should do, well, it's thick enough that I really shouldn't have issue with the pink and the green blending in an unfortunate manner. So I'm not going to worry about it. That feels like I was pretty hefty on that pour. Alright, let's see. I'm really glad that the pink is thick though, so it doesn't get too wild in there and get muddy. This is so close to a rainbow. Beautiful. I think I'm just going to go in with the rest. I'll scrape for the top. Yeah, that'll be fine. Gorgeous. Of course, the winter is citrus season, and yummy. Let's start over here. Let's do something different. And once I have this pink in, I'll give it a smack down. Pretty. Okay, I'll turn the volume down, but in editing, I'm going to smack this down. It's amazing texture, really. It's so beautiful. Now you have a little bit of reflection there. Oh, it's amazing. All right, so I'm just going to be doing the drizzle and the dollop for a while. My goggles are all fogging up. But I'll probably put on some music for you because it's going to take me a while. Like to clean my mold because one, I'm gonna set cardboard on top of this to help it just be covered, help to prevent the ash, and so I don't want it just sitting in that. But then also it's just a lot easier to unmold a soap like this when it doesn't have all these little small dried bits popping off. Oh, this is just beautiful. I just feel like the very first time that I made it back in Missouri, I think the video's on the channel. I don't know if that's the original one or not. But oh my goodness. Now the pink does tone down just a little bit because the essential oils are very orangey. And so it does kind of bring it in a little citrusy. Shaking a little bit because that's pretty heavy. I am just pleased as could be with this batch. I'm going to spritz it with alcohol. I'm going to cover it. And because it's in a wood mold, it's going to go ahead and come back up to temperature and it's going to go through a gel. So it's going to saponify, and then I will be back in a couple of days to cut it. Alright, so we're back to cut the juicy soap. And it is looking so good. Look at those colors. Very, very pretty. So we're going to unpeel the paper, as you can't see from there very well. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Now you're probably seeing some lines over here. That's the alcohol as it kind of runs down in the gaps, but I sliced that off anyway. So I have my splitter here from Smith Creek Studios. And this is my newer mold, so I cannot slice off very much at all. Let's see, that's not in yet. It's quite a significant difference from this end to that end. Alright, we're going to try it. Oh yeah, that's fine. That is fine. So I just get this very loosey-goosey piece there. Kind of interesting looking inside. Let's see what it looks like throughout. Cut it 2.5 inches. And I just realized this is not that mold. This is my biggest mold. And so I could have cut a very nice chunk there. Oh wow. Ooh, that's really pretty. I guess I neglected to turn on this other camera for now. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. We don't need any close-ups for this section. That's not true. That's really pretty. It's amazing how subdued some of the colors get. The orange definitely is very pale. Another beautiful loaf there. So I'll get 4 out of this one. I figure since we all love Juicy so very much, I better do the biggest batch that I can do right now. I used to have molds when I was in Missouri that were 6 loaves. And I don't remember what we did with those, but they are no longer with us. Oh yeah, I have a pretty big chunk then here on this end. Okay. Okay, so let's cut this up and I will give you a up close here. So here we have the top. The inside's looking oh so good. These colors are just so cheerful. This is an amazing scent. I love it so very, very much. And here we go. I cut my bars at 1 inch. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Ah, yes, look at it. That's just so lovely. I am so pleased. So, so pleased. We have another bar. This is just, I don't know, it feels like going home. Oh dear. It just is such a classic soap that I tend to have made, but haven't made in a while like this. And it just feels comforting to make this soap. I love the yellow. Oh, look at this neat swirl down on this side. How fun. That is just really beautiful. That is such a neat bar like that. Oh, I love it. So I will be cutting for a sampler one of these loaves. So I think what I've got coming up is going to make for a fun sampler selection. I have a large amount of soap back here. And so I think that will make just a really nice sampler. So I will go ahead and cut the samplers. But I probably won't do it on video, but I'm going to cut them. I am wondering about changing the size of the sampler though. Sampler bar, because some of them are still almost at the range of my full-size bars, because my full-size bars are 4 to 5 ounces leaning towards 4.5 to 5, and then some of these are still over 4 ounces. So I'd like to make my samplers just a little bit smaller still. I love the top on this one. It's just so incredibly beautiful. Now some of the color looks a little mottled. I don't expect that to last. There's just something about the essential oils and the color, and once they has time for all the air to kind of come in, they seem to equalize. Did I put that back right? No, I did not. So I am not concerned about that at all, but it is something that I'm noticing. Sometimes that can happen too when I pour really thin. But yeah, overall this batch has turned out wonderfully. So what I'm going to do, because cold processed soap does need to cure for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Not only does it evaporate the excess moisture out of it to make it a harder, longer lasting bar, but it also develops a crystalline structure in that time, and that's what makes it really, really good. And why we love it so very much. So it really does need the time. I'm just going to line it up on a parchment lined tray and put it on my curing rack, which is just a baker's rack from like a restaurant supply store. And there it's just gonna hang out and be happy. So here we have the Juicy soap made with micas, but scented with essential oils. It's a classic, it's a customer favorite, and we do love it so very much. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.